Hey, what's up, you guys? I am Kamisha Davis. I am your digital wealth and life protection specialist. I educate and you decide. And this is insurance without the pitch. Why this matters. Protection is a wealth tool. It shields income, gives families quick liquidity when life flips the script, and helps move money cleanly to the next generation. There are two lanes: term, big coverage, low cost, it's a set number of years. And then there's permanent, lifelong protection with the potential cash value if designed right. My process is simple. I give you a quick discovery, I set clear options, and you choose. Say for instance, there's emergency. We have single moms that have small policies. They can use the cash value in their policy to bridge a tough time in the month. No high interest cards, no panic. If you hear someone say, I don't want probate drama, send them this presentation. There is retirement flexibility. Properly designed policies can create optional income later. So you don't have to worry about selling your investments in a down market. If you know someone that's worried about outliving their savings, send them this presentation. There is always protection today and options for tomorrow. So go ahead, book you a pressure free session. The link has been posted on the screen. Again, my name is Kamisha, the Wolfette Davis. And also, I do want to let you know that this is for educational purposes only. This is not tax or legal advice. Benefits generally are income tax free. Design and features vary by carrier and state. And also, stay tuned. I will be giving you a little bit of history into the wolf prints of the Wolfette and how, this story all came to be what it is, how I decided to create the Wolves of Wealth Street Digital Leadership Academy, how I decided to become the Wolfette. And if you're ready, go ahead and stay tuned. So, who am I? Of course, my name is Kamisha the Producer Davis. And as you see, the Wolfette of Wealth Street. Um, I founded the Wolves of Wealth Street Digital Leadership Academy and the Wolfette Digital Sim Studio. I wasn't always a wolf, you know what I'm saying? This was forged out of, homelessness. So homelessness began when I decided to take my wolf prints and, you know, do another career. I wanted a career change. I had been talking to a gentleman who drove trucks for a long time, and he was like, you should get into this industry. There's some money there, you know. And I was like, I'm game. Let's do it. I packed up my 4 bedroom house, put everything in storage because my lease was going to be up on the house. And I was like, I'm going to go get my CDL. Went and did my thing. And I ended up having some nerve pain. Like I woke up in the middle of the night while I was away, for training. And my hands woke me up like it was the worst pain I had ever felt. I didn't know what was going on. I was shaking them. I was squeezing them and everything, and it just hurt tremendously. The next day, I could barely put on my clothes. Everything I touched hurt, and I couldn't understand what was causing the pain. I ended up going to the hospital. They had to drive me because I couldn't even drive the truck, and found out that I had some type of nerve damage. Immediately, the trucking company took the keys. And this was like what the hell just happened moment. It hit me so fast I couldn't even think. I thought the lady was playing. I'm like, girl, give me my keys. She's like, no, you really can't get your keys because you can't drive if you have nerve damage or anything like that because you could hurt someone. And I'm like, they didn't say that at the hospital. And she was like, it's actually in your medical report. I hadn't read it. I was like, had I read that, I wouldn't have gave it to you. She was like, it's good you did. But long story short, that was that. They took the keys, and I had to face the reality that I had to come back to Louisiana without a plan B. Man, that was the longest ride of my life because what I left out in the story of her taking the keys, she's like, "Yeah, we're sending you back to Louisiana because you're going to have to get seen by your own private doctor, and then they're going to have to clear you in order to come back and drive. Once you get clearance, everything's good, okay?" So in my mind, I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to, come all the way to Louisiana to get clearance. They told me I had to see my own doctor. I couldn't see anybody in Arkansas. So I did what I was told. I came on home, saw my doctor. I'm thinking these people gonna be like, girl, you don't have no nerve damage. Those people tripping. Go ahead and go get your keys and go back to driving. No, that's when it all hit me that it was real. They told me I not only had some type of nerve damage, the nerve damage was not something that was going to be just like remedied with like any type of medication. I had to go to therapy. They wanted me to see some type of sports doctor. They had me exercising my feet and my hands because right after my hands started hurting, my feet started hurting. I don't know. It was the hands and it was the feet. So now I'm trying to figure out why I'm having these medical issues. I'm back in Louisiana living with a friend of mine. That situation was not ideal because, of course, that person didn't even want me at their house, but they made it work out of the goodness of their heart. They allowed me to stay there, but I was working on leaving at that time to figure something out. So I had connected with family members or whatever. Because when I was in Arkansas, I called my family and I reached out to them and I was like, things went bad out here and I need some help. And they were like, reach out to this particular family member. She probably wouldn't mind assisting you. So while I was staying with this person that didn't want me to stay there, I reached out to my family and let them know. And they definitely came through for me. And she was like, you can come live here, come to Houston, come out here, get your license, whatever. You can see the doctors out here, boom, boom, boom. So I'm game. I go out there. I get settled in. I'm thinking, this gonna be the new place where I get my, my license and everything straight, and I'm gonna be great on the road, seeing the states, living my best life, and that didn't happen. Actually, my daughter was still in Louisiana. We had never really just been separated like that before, besides when I went to Arkansas, and she was staying somewhere where she needed to leave as well. So I asked my cousin, like, can my daughter come out here? She was like, "Oh, of course, she can come. It's all good." Um, my cousin had a stepson or whatever, and so I'm thinking, when I come out there, it's just gonna be me doing my thing. She got her kids, she doing her thing, and I'm just getting my life together because no money came up, right? I'm in a situation, no money came up. So I get there, but all of a sudden, I'm an in-house, live-in babysitter, whatever. Fast forward, my daughter gets there with her dog. The dog is there, everything cool, but I think my cousin wanted us to stay in the same room together, my daughter and I, but that room was too small, especially, we grown women, we want our space. So long story short, time went on, things got ugly around there. It was all really kind of nitpicking, really. I think it's because that I had grown up mentally, and this particular, relative wasn't used to that. I was being asked to do like help with homework, of course, keep the son that I didn't even know I was gonna be keeping because he not mine. Um, and it wasn't just that, it was just the fact that, I'm in your home. I didn't mind cooking, cleaning, doing all of these things. I did all the laundry. I even got on food stamps while I was out there and put groceries in there so did my daughter. But, we were being told that we weren't contributing and things like that. And that was irritating as hell to hear this. But we knew the truth. Long story short, it came to a head one day over something real petty. And one thing led to another. Words were said that we couldn't take back. And that was the end of that. She kicked us out. So after that, that began the real road to homelessness. So this is another moment where I have to reevaluate what the hell just happened, you know, because I'm sitting back thinking about how the argument started, what led to what, and how things were said. And I just can think about how it should have never went that way. So let me explain this. When you're in a person's home and they tell you that they're going to help you so you can get back on your feet, why would that person then turn around and tell people that you're not contributing when you don't have money to contribute when they know they have offered to help you? The thing was originally when I asked her about my daughter coming out there, she had already told me I can have my daughter come out there. But at first my daughter was already staying somewhere, so she was good. But then that situation changed. So she needed to leave. She was gonna go to Texas with her dad. But like I said, me and my daughter had never been separated like that. So that's why I asked my cousin, can she come where I was? Thing was, I didn't know that it was going to affect my daughter the way it affected her. So let me back up and explain this to you guys. That was my older cousin. Like I said, older cousins, whatever relatives, they trying to boss you around or whatever when they're younger. But she and I hadn't seen each other in years. We hadn't seen each other in so long. So that was my daughter's first time ever meeting this woman. Honestly, she said until I told her I was going to stay with that particular relative, she had never even heard that woman's name mentioned in our household. And that's true because I don't talk about people I don't hang around, family or not. I have no reason to discuss you. So when it happened and we were kind of my daughter was kind of seeing how she was talking to me at times and I was trying to hold it in because I knew we needed a place to stay. And I was trying to go ahead and get my license. She felt like, this lady was trying to little girl her mama. So she was like, no, the next time she say something to you, I got it. And I was like, nah, don't say nothing. So on this particular day, when things got heated, my daughter says some things and it just went how it went. So, with that being said, I just want people to understand I wasn't using this woman. I wasn't taking advantage of her. I was offered a place, and when I got there, she doesn't know this, but I'm gonna tell now, and so she'll probably know. I left a recording out just to see, how she really talks about us when we're away. And the recording did reveal to my, yeah, they gotta get they butts up out of here to my, you ain't trying to do nothing, you ain't doing this, you ain't paying nothing. How you gonna go stay somewhere and you ain't got no money? So that just lets me know she was never trying to help us. She wanted some money. So at the end of the day, I could have just stayed my butt in Louisiana and avoided all of that. You wanted some money and you wanted a free babysitter. And when it didn't work out, you got irritated because she noticed I didn't want to keep the little boy. And she'll tell people all the time, he didn't even need a babysitter. Well, why you was paying for one? Oh, okay. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to bash anyone. I just want to clear up some things because that person did, quote unquote, help us, but they helped us for their own reasons. That wasn't help. So, with that being said, here we are back in Louisiana looking for our, what we going to do? We got to figure it out. But before I get to figuring it out, let me piggyback and jump back on that story right quick about the before we got put out because a lot of people were told, like we weren't contributing, we weren't doing anything, we were just eating up all the food, weren't buying nothing. Like it's hard as hell to get food stamps in Texas, and literally they give them to you for like a month or two, I guess, because I got them for like 2 months and then it was gone. And it was crazy because I got them like it wasn't even 2 months. Like I got them the first time because they give you like an emergency set. Then I got them the next month and then it was gone. So with that being said, we stocked up at the meat market and filled up her deep freezers and her regular freezers with nothing but meat and stuff. So it was plenty food there. It was so much food to when we got put out, we gave all of the food that was in the deep freezer to the neighbor because we wanted to drive back to Louisiana with a trunk full of meat, and we damn sure wanted to leave it there. So with that being said, that probably proved to people theory when we left that she was like, see, ain't no food or nothing in my house. Baby, we took it all. We took every drop that we bought and took it with us and brought it back because we were already being told we weren't buying it. So why leave it there? So I just wanted to mention that because a lot of people, like I say, they put on these faces like they want to help and they want to be there for you. But at the end of the day, people will use your weakness as an opportunity to step on you even further. Like how you gonna take from somebody that's already struggling and then turn around and say, how you gonna stay somewhere and ain't got no money? How you gonna offer somebody to come stay with you when you knew they owed you $500? But anyway, long story short, I'm gonna get to getting our life together. So we come on back down here and we trying to find out where the hell we gonna go. We have nowhere to go. Like literally my best friend is already deceased. My daughter doesn't have any friends and really you could tell by the way things was looking. I don't have no family to go to. You know what I'm saying? So I had no one. My daughter had no one. But long story short, we ended up crashing like in the back of this lady house. She had like a drive around backyard or whatever, and we used to stay in the car sometimes back there. Then eventually she let us stay in her house, but she wasn't comfortable with it. She wasn't comfortable with it, you could tell, but she allowed it. But eventually one day I could tell she was just tired, even though we weren't there. Like we would bath there, sleep there, and dip. Like in the daytime, we weren't like hanging out in this lady house, like chilling and nothing like that. Like we was getting the hell on, trying to make sure we was getting straight. We just needed a place to wash our butts and get ourselves together for the day and get the hell on. But at the same time, you in somebody else's house, that's still too much. So we could tell she was getting tired, so we got the hell up out of there. And eventually, we was just staying like where we could stay in the car, like in somebody's yard. My best friend, mama yard, we stayed in her yard, and then we would pull in um our cousin yard, baby Trey yard, and sleep in his yard with the camera or whatever. And I was just study looking for jobs. My daughter was looking for employment and stuff like that. Eventually, I ended up landing a position with this company, and I end up, getting some money. And at that time, they were like, "It's a work from home position. You got to have a home." I was homeless, so where I was gonna hook up the equipment. So thankfully, our cousin baby Trey let us crash at his crib, even though he had a wife and stuff things going on. He was saw it in his heart to let us go and crash there long enough to get that situation taken care of, and that's how we were able to move forward. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, but that's how we were able to move forward. So he allowed us to stay there for like a couple of weeks or whatever. And then finally, I got a check, and it was probably longer than a couple of weeks because we was like just coming to his house in the daytime, showering. And then another homeboy of ours, well, mine anyway, that I went to school with. Shout out to Richard. He had a auto shop. He used to let us come there, stay there, and sleep there at times as well. We had people look out for us. I'm gonna get to that, but I had hotel rooms. People help, give money at times because it was hard. I was literally calling people I hadn't talked to since high school. Like, baby, can you send me $20? I need to get a room. I was that low. You hear me? But I paid those people back. I called everybody like, hey, I got money now. Here go your money. Some people took it, some people didn't. But thank you all that did, help out. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Um, but long story short, we ended up getting finally got a check, got a room. Well, it was a hotel. It used to be a hotel, but they turned it into apartments, and then we end up staying there for quite a while until that temporary job laid me off. Yeah, the temporary job ended, and after that, so the temporary job ended, but we had already found jobs at like working part time at. We both were working part time at this other company. So I had the regular job at the you know, for the company that I was working with, GDIT, and then I was working part time. But that job ended, like I said, with the GDIT, and the only thing we had was the job with the um the um the cleaning company, Red River Sandals. So long story short, we still was making ends meet. Everything was still straight, but we still didn't have enough money to get up out of there. We wanted to have enough to get up out of there, but we couldn't. Eventually, the car that we used to be sleeping in, somebody stole it. Yeah, so someone stole my daughter's Honda Elantra, and that was devastating because at that time that was all we had to get to work. And I called the man the day that they stole the car and was like, "Look, we gonna have, we not." We don't have a way to get to work today because somebody stole the car. So I'll keep you posted on what we're gonna do tomorrow. Man, tomorrow didn't even come. The people fired us at the Calumet because I called in and told them that we didn't have a car. Like they literally didn't even give us a chance to figure out a job. I mean a ride. They was like, okay, your job gone. So me and my baby both ended up with no job the same day. Like that shit was crazy. Um, eventually, we was trying to figure something out. I had purchased these digital products, and I was like, everybody selling ebooks, everybody doing the digital thing, baby. I'm finna save us. Don't worry about it, baby. I got it. I'm finna get over here and get in my digital bag, and I'm finna pay these bills. But I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know what I was doing. The digital world had me in a digital chokehold, baby. I was making ebooks after ebooks, but when nobody buying them like that, they was buying enough to probably just buy one here, one there, but not nothing to pay no bills. So eventually the time come where we had to get the hell up out of there. And at the time we had a car when we moved in, we didn't have one when we left. So we had to figure it out. I actually had just gotten a job offer from a company, but couldn't take it because they needed us to have Wi-Fi hardwired. I couldn't get it hardwired in that hotel slash apartment. Um, so I had to send them all their equipment back that could have saved us. Like when I was moving out, I still had their equipment that I had to mail back to them. Like that equipment could have saved us. The digital assets could have saved us, but nothing did. It was meant for us to leave, honestly, honestly, because those people. I'm not gonna speak on that. Long story short, we ended up with a U-Haul because what I didn't say is in the midst of signing up for that job that I got offered. It was with Conduent was the job. I had also signed up to go to school with Merit America. Merit America had already got me already signed up. Everything was going good, but I ended up knowing we was going to get evicted. So I was like, yeah, I'm about to be homeless, so I'm not going to be able to attend school. And this lady named Nakia, I'll never forget Miss Nakia. She worked she told me about this program that they had, like a hardship program or something through the school for the students that I didn't even know nothing about. And she was like, I'm going to contact them and you fill out whatever and they can probably help you. So she did, and those people sent us like $750, and we were able to get our U-Haul. And the first night we didn't have a room to go to. We just slept in the back of the U-Haul um, at the truck stop. But the next day we were able to get us a room, and I think we were able to go get the dog and everything too. Because during the other times my daughter wasn't able to have her dog with her. But long story short, it was just a humbling experience just knowing that, man, like, whew, we're finally in a room now, back, inside some shelter instead on the side of the roads and stuff, staying with people here and there because they had stolen the doggone car and we couldn't just move around like we wanted to. So we needed a place where we could be every day. So we ended up having a room that accepted pets and everything, so my daughter could be with her dog, of course. And just so y'all know, this dog is important to her. My daughter has social anxiety. So for anybody that's been like, her and that dog getting on my nerves, oh, well, you're getting on mine. Okay, so that is that. But long story short, my daughter's dog, which is her social, I mean, her, she breathing hard now on the floor, like she hear me talking about her. But my daughter has social anxiety, and this dog is her soothing animal. Like they help each other out. So long story short, she needed her dog, and the hotel when we first got there, they was like, "Yeah, you can have the dog here, no worries, no problem, no fee." Even though they charged the fee, they was cool, and they had a different manager. That manager ended up having to leave, y'all. I don't know what happened, but they got another one, and she was like, "No." It was the middle of the night, and they tried to put us out the hotel, not because of the dog, but because of something else that happened at the front desk. I had paid for my room was paid, but however the front desk put the stuff in the system, it showed that we hadn't even paid for the room, right? So the gentleman at the front desk, he knew that the mistake was made by him, but instead of him saying, I made a mistake, these people did pay for their room, he literally tried to come to our room at 1 o'clock in the morning, telling me, yeah, I got to get out, plus I got to get out with the dog and all this stuff. So that was crazy, but we knew at that point we had to get the heck up out of there. The dude ended up fixing everything how it needed to be fixed, paying whatever he needed to pay. I don't know because I knew I had paid my money. I had my receipt, and we ended up getting out of there with the dog and end up finding another hotel down the road. Luckily they took dogs and they didn't even charge a pet fee. So here we are at the other hotel down the road. I'm still working at the GDIT, still making, things work, saving up and stuff like that. And eventually got a position at the front desk. I saw the lady at the front desk, she worked all the time. I was like, you mind, what I'm saying, hiring me and my daughter. I worked down there first, then my daughter came along and worked down there. Eventually saved up enough money and stayed there like 2.5 months. When I first went there, and I think it was like July, I already knew that I had my apartment because I applied when I first got there, got approved, but they told me I had to wait till September before the apartment got ready. So July, August, September, we waiting, just to move. But when September came that day, we were so happy. September the 20th, 2024, because we were able to take that cart and push it out that door and walk into our new life. It was the best feeling ever. All right, you guys. So that's the end of everything. And just to clear some things up, I know there are people that are wondering, like, did she ever get her CDL? And just to clear this up to people, and I'm just ready to come clean because I'm tired of lying. When you going through a lot of things and you want to prove things to people that you're doing better than you are, you will probably lie to people and be like, yeah, I did this. I never got them. I never got them, y'all. So I don't feel bad about it because I know I did it twice to try to get it, but it wasn't meant for me. I never got clearance from my doctor to drive. I was hoping that the Texas doctors would have cleared me, but they never did. Even though I was in school out there in Texas, it never did come up about my medical. So I was really just going, go ahead and try to see if the doctors out there would, release me. But it didn't go like that. So thankfully it didn't because my hands and feet still give me problems at times. So it's good that I'm not driving those people trucks. But I lied to people. And if y'all hear this, y'all gonna be like, I knew she was lying. Oh, well. Yeah, I be lying too. Sometimes you just can't admit that you messed up and you didn't succeed like you wanted to. So, but it is what it is. It's not like I gave up. That wasn't the end of the world. And honestly, I wasn't trying to really drive trucks. No way. I just wanted some money. Okay, so it's not like I'm like, oh, she couldn't drive the trucks. Oh well, I'm still getting money. I'm still gonna survive. But also, with that being said, it's a lot that I wanted to mention that I didn't mention in this story. I didn't make this story to talk about anyone in particular, especially not the relative that let me come stay. I just wanted to shine light on how a lot of things could have been prevented if people are more honest with how they want to help people and how they want to present themselves to the world. Because a lot of people present themselves as this person that's always there, always helpful, and always really, available, but sometimes that's just a mask that they wear because they want people to feel a certain way. So personally, if you're not really genuine in your helping and in your doing, just don't do it. Like me, a lot of people don't like me because if they ask me to do something and I don't want to do it, I'm gonna just say no. I'm gonna flat out tell you no. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. I have no desire. So honestly, I'd rather be not liked for being real than not liked for pretending. You know what I'm saying? That I want to be nice to people. I want to be helpful to people when knowing at the end of the day, I just want to be a bitch. So if you just want to be a bitch, but don't act like you like people, don't act like you love people, don't act like you're there for people or anything like that. But my story is mine, you know what I'm saying? I may have left a whole lot out, which I know I did, but it's really all just to say I went from on that road to homelessness to now I'm on the paper route. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about like I got a bread like that. I ain't like that. But I am on that route to where I know I've gained enough knowledge and I've got the digital asset game down to where I know I can build more systems because I've already built systems with what I have. Um, but I appreciate everyone that stayed on to listen to this story. It's more that I have to share with you all, but I mean, this is it in a nutshell. Like, at the end of the day, I really just want to be successful. I've always wanted to be a desire to have more. I've always wanted to have a lot of other things, but I've always been viewed like, oh, she don't want to have, babe. I want so much. It's just that I don't know how to put my mind in just one place. I tell people that all the time. I'm a snack of all trades. I know a lot about a lot of things, but what's the point if you haven't locked in that one thing and finalize that this is where you're gonna go and you're gonna make that great. So this is my time to do that. I'm gonna lock in with the Wolves of Wall Street Digital Leadership Academy. This my baby, and I'm gonna stick with it. And I just, want y'all along for the ride. The people that really want to look out for people, the people that really who want to help people, the people that want to pull people up with them. Because if you're in this industry and even if you're not in this industry of life insurance or insurance, if you're in the industry or lifestyle of just protecting the ones around you, take a look at the videos, take a look at the school, look around and see if this is a place that you might want to be because you never know. You might have found your home. But I use that word loosely because some of us had some messed up homes growing up. So I don't want you to find your home if it was messed up. But if it was good, baby, it's all good over here. But again, my name is Kamisha, the producer Davis, and also Kamisha the Wolfette Davis. I am the founder of the Wolves of Wall Street Digital Leadership Academy, and I am the founder of the Wolfette Digital Sim Studio. I am also the creator of the 5 element system and the creator of the 10 tier system that is implemented into my digital school. So if you want to know more, feel free, like I say, to check out the links, come by the school, send me an email, whatever you want to do. And if you have more questions, feel free to reach out. I hate this was so long, but I just been wanting to get it out. But I could have went longer, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all got more questions or if you have any questions, like I say, hit me up. Again, what else? I just want people to know that it and like I talked about in the beginning, how wealth is a tool. It is a tool. We all need to have some tools in our toolbox that are there to help us, that are really going to assist us when we need them. So, my question to you is, do you have the right tools in your box? If you don't, hit me up so we can find out together, okay? Thank you for listening. Y'all have a good one.